I was sitting there talking to Brendan. We went to go pick up these other machines at a warehouse and everything, and I said, "So Brendan, they're loading these with forklifts, and I don't. Do you have a forklift back at the gym or not? Because like, how are we going to do this if they're just sitting there loading these big ass pieces with forklifts?" And I was like, so yeah, it's a good thing we both work out and then we're good to go.
So, as a creative, I knew that I always wanted to run a business, but I didn't know the businessy things. I'm Kim Russo, owner of On Brand Designs, creator of the Profitable Brand Designer course, and this is my cute man over here.
I thought we were going to say handsome man, but I'm handsome man Jeremy, co-hosting the show with Kim, hoping to share some knowledge and laughs as we share our journey together as an entrepreneurial couple.
Thanks for being here, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, and welcome to the Profitable Brand Designer. We are so excited to have our first guest ever, Brendan Van Nostrand, who is a bodybuilder and entrepreneur. He was a double major in marketing and management with a focus on entrepreneurship from the University of South Carolina. He also is the owner of two gyms, Train Yard Fitness in South Carolina and QC Pump House, opening soon in Charlotte. And we are in QC Pump House right now. So if you are listening, make sure you go to YouTube and check out On Brand Design so you can see us with this massive gym in the background. And we wanted to kind of share the journey along the way. So On Brand was involved with creating some of the graphics here and bringing Brendan's vision to life. And we've become better friends over the process. But Jeremy is going to tell you about how we've met Brendan.
So I actually knew Brendan's dad from almost 20 years now. When I moved up to the Charlotte area and started working out in some local gyms, and me and him just, had a group of friends that would always work out together. And about 10 years ago, before I moved down to Charleston and moved away from the Charlotte area, I met Brendan, and I think he was still around in college or something like that, about 2014. And then a few years back down in Myrtle Beach, I ran into him again and just kind of been hanging out, enjoying some time together. And then, like Kim said, some opportunity came around to where she was able to help him with some of the design work for the gym here. So I'll let Brendan kind of tell me if I was right on all that.
That's pretty much how I met Jeremy. We met while I was in college. He was working out at the gym. And then we ran into each other on the beach, like you said, about 3 years ago. And we've just stayed in contact. They're basically family friends now. And I knew I wanted to open up a gym, and I wanted to have a brand manager to really help me push my brand across and just build a strong foundation for my gym. And so I had an idea of what I wanted to do logo wise. And so I reached out to Kim about helping me with my brand management, and she really took my ideas and made it a reality with a little bit more flavor and creativity, because that is not one of my strong suits.
Well, you have the marketing background, so you had a lot of the ideas.
Yeah, a lot of the ideas, but the creativity, I kind of give her the ideas that are in my head, and then she runs with it. And they turn out to be pretty good. And then we play around with them. And so she's helped create a lot of the designs in the gym, the graphics, all the merch we're going to be selling. She really helped with that. This gym has really been a process to get opened. April of 2024 was 3 years from really starting to open the gym. I mean, we started looking for buildings 3 years ago, and then we actually signed a lease on a building. The owners of the building didn't do what they were supposed to do on their part of the lease, and we actually found a better location that suited the gym. So we voided the lease and moved locations. Is actually 2 buildings down. And we've had some delays, working with the municipalities, but that's to be expected. But yeah, we should be opening up here in about 30 days.
So take us back, like pre any gym being open. Where did you like get your love for fitness, and how did you get to even be here today?
So I grew up playing sports. I played baseball and football for most of my life growing up. I was north, south, and all state in baseball. And then I started linebacker on our varsity team as a sophomore. But that's really where all this started, because I was super competitive. And this is actually a funny story. My freshman year of high school, actually 8th grade summer, you start training for football with the older athletes and stuff. And so my freshman year, I got ran over at practice every day for 3 hours, and I said I will never ever be a practice dummy again. And our football team was really good at the time. I was like 130 pounds, soaking wet, going into the 9th grade, and so I started working out, and I put on some size, and it made me a better athlete, a much better athlete actually. And then I started training with my dad. I started working out pretty serious when I was 13, 14 years old, and just never stopped. So that's kind of where all of this started. And then after, sports and school, I went to college, and I didn't end up going on any baseball scholarships or anything like that. We had a few small offers, but I decided I just wanted to go to South Carolina, go to a big school, because the high school I went to was very small. And so I started training. Well, not started training. I continued to train 5 to 6 days a week then. And I'll never forget this. This actually happened in college. In one of my marketing classes, my teacher said, "Well, what do you want to do when you get older?" And I said, "I think it would be really cool to own my own like mecca gym." You know what I mean? So
You manifested that.
So this is where we're here now. The gym in South Carolina is a lot smaller. It's about the size of an Anytime, but it's in a smaller town. So, we supply the community with what they need, with us being the only gym there. And then the QC Pump House, the new gym, the one we're in currently, is kind of like a all-in-one. It's going to be your top training facility with the most motivating atmosphere. That's actually our mission statement. So it's kind of built to motivate people. It's built for literally everybody: bodybuilders, powerlifters, and lifestyle lifters, and anybody who just wants to be around that energy. And so we're kind of full circle now, very close to opening, and hopefully that'll happen real soon.
Yeah, and I think that's like where kind of a lot of our parallels too, with like our fathers getting us into the gym, because I was in the gym when I was like 11 years old and working out for sports and everything. So we definitely share that, where our pops was the one that got us into the gym atmosphere and enjoying every second of it.
Well, I think that's also super healthy,
Right.
In every aspect, because my son is 6 years old and attempting to work out behind us currently, but
He's off there flexing in the mirrors back there.
But he's grown up with his mom and dad being in the gym, 5, 6 days a week. So to him, that's not weird. That's supposed to be normal.
Should be.
And it's a healthy trait to have to pass down to your kids. So
right.
Yeah. And I think us being so involved in the gym too, it helped create this whole process of opening the gym, kind of giving you, some ideas and helping you along the way, is because we understand the lifestyle too.
I would agree with that 100%. You've definitely helped with the process of getting me open, because you've helped with design work that I would have had to outsource to a few different companies, when you actually do a lot of different things for me. Also the t-shirt design, the website design, all of that. I mean, it's definitely helped me throughout the process and speed things up.
We'll add some clips of the gym too if you're watching on YouTube. So make sure you go check it out. There's some really cool graphics that were your ideas, but then we kind of brought it to life. So I have a question. Where did you come up with QC Pump House? Like, do you remember where you were and how this name and this idea of opening this gym came to be?
With just the name, correct?
Okay. QC Pump House, and like the name and the idea of opening this physical location. So you had Train Yard opened. What made you open something else besides Train Yard with this name?
So Train Yard opened during COVID, just because there wasn't a gym in Chester, South Carolina. The rec center closed, and so that's why we ended up opening a Train Yard then. But at that point in time, I had really dove into the industry. I resigned from my day job, and that's when I decided we were going to do this full time. I flipped houses at the time, so I had some free time. I was more so just general contractor and running GC on all my house flips that I had going on. And so I started looking for buildings, and then we started playing with the name ideas. And we went through probably 50 ideas, and I would send them. I had, different group chats of my bodybuilder friends, my family, my friends who are lifestyle lifters to kind of play with the names. But QC comes from Charlotte being the Queen City. There's a couple other businesses with QC, but QC sounds better and design looks a lot better than Queen City, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nickname too.
Yep.
And then also, I believe the pump house came from me and my dad and we were having an open conversation with my family, and that's where it came from. We actually started, like I said, this project 3 years ago. My dad started opening his gym after I did, but ended up opening the pump house in Myrtle Beach before I got open. So, we kind of kept the name with the family, the Myrtle Beach pump house and then the Queen City pump house. But it was just brainstorming with the family. That's kind of where the name came from. And then the design looked really good. So that's why we ended up going QC Pump House.
So what are your goals and what are your plans for the future of QC Pump House? So once you're up and running and this place is going to be jam-packed, what's next?
So we're opening, which I'll call this phase one, which is we're opening with locker rooms, a posing room, a little bit of a power room in the back, but we do have a ton of power equipment inside the gym already. But phase two, we're going to be adding showers we're right outside of the city. So a lot of people want to work out on their way to work before they go work in uptown Charlotte. And they really need a shower so they can shower after their workout, or for people who want to shower on their lunch. So that's step one of phase two. And step two of phase two, we'll be adding saunas to the men's and women's locker rooms. And for this location, it's really about building the most complete gym in the city. I trained in Charlotte or around the area for years, and there just wasn't a gym with lights, the atmosphere, the aesthetics, the equipment. I mean, we even have a huge meal prep area, which you'll see clips later on, where we're going to have ready-to-eat meals. And we're not just building a gym here. It's really a culture for like-minded individuals to grow and get better every day. And that's really what the goal is here, is to build the most complete gym to help people reach their goals. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking goals for the future, this will absolutely be the first location. We not going to say it on here, but we have two other locations we're looking at opening. One will be I don't want to say this, but I've kind of started looking at commercial property for location number two. I've done the research and ran the demographics and everything, and the next location is going to be awesome as well.
You put it down to Charleston. All right, so tell us a little bit more about like your experiences with just competing in general in bodybuilding. Because like I said, we both worked out for years, but that's just never been, because we talked about it a lot before. It's like just the mindset and just like getting into that, like the bulking phase, the cutting phase, like the different like hell that you put yourself through to get to like stand on stage and compete at a level like, because you won the Palmetto Cup 2-3 years ago.
I won the overall at the Palmetto Pro in 2022. So that's kind of a loaded question. It's kind of a lot to it.
Yeah.
So it was more so I got into competing because I was the most serious non-competitor at the gym. Mm-hmm. Like I would go in a lot of gyms and, I'd like to think that I looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, it might be time to take this a little bit more serious. I had people asking me when my show was and stuff, and I wasn't even on prep. And then so I prepped myself for my first 2 shows, which literally they were a week away. So it was kind of, there was a show this weekend, then the next weekend there was another show an hour away. So I did the Charlotte Cup, I believe it was 2018, and then at the time it was called the Palmetto Classic down in Columbia, South Carolina. So I did those shows back to back, met some really cool people who helped me just get better because that was my first show. I felt really good going into it, but I came out and pride was hurt a little bit because I didn't win it. But I really enjoy it, and it pushes you to a level that nothing else has ever pushed me to. I mean, you have to be just mentally totally in control and just strong to make it through it, because what a lot of people don't understand is, yes, the prep is awful at times and it's tough, but a lot of times bodybuilding shows are won in the off season, or the good competitors make the corrections needed from their previous show to place better in the next show or the next time they step on stage. So that was my goal after my first, set of shows I did, was what did I need to work on? So actually brought in a coach, Cornelius Parkin. We worked very closely together for many years. And then I brought in opposing coach Dale Chance, and that really, really helped me because my posing, I would say now, is definitely a strong suit for me. And then working with Cornelius, I mean, he's just a very, very intelligent coach, and I learned, a lot through him, and he is a lot of the reason I won the overall in 2022. But that's kind of it. You really have to work really hard in the off season to get better, and then when the prep comes on, you really have to lock in.
Very strict. You don't go out and hang out like normal,
No, my last show, I didn't go out at all. I didn't really.
Right.
I just some people say this isn't good, but for me, I know me, and for me to win, I just need to cut everything off and focus on what's in front of me.
So after going through that and now having this gym in this space, how are you planning to use this to help others or mentor others? Are you going to incorporate that into this gym?
So a big thing about this gym is it was built by myself. So I grew up, when I was younger, I was more so of a power lifter. So I have that background. I have the bodybuilding background and a lifestyle background. So it really helped me build this gym. And one thing you'll notice when you walk around is it's organized where you can do your whole workout without really ever going to the other side of the gym. And that's been a big compliment of the gym, is the organization, the way it was built, and the equipment in it. And so I would say the biggest thing is by building an elite training facility with the atmosphere to help people who want to get better. That would be what I brought to this community here in Charlotte.
Okay, so I want to talk about your social media, because a lot of us today, when we talk about marketing and building up a brand, followers is a big thing. How are you leveraging that? So Brendan V Fit on Instagram, he's got over 78,000 followers. What did it take to get there? How are you leveraging that for this gym opening and marketing to get people to join?
So when I was younger, obviously Instagram, it was cool to be popular on Instagram. Now I have a family and I have kids, so it's not, that's not really the goal. But I do like to use that as leverage to grow my other businesses and things like that. And so I got shared by a South American bodybuilding page years ago, and my Instagram kind of blew up. And then this past year, actually, when we were in the hospital having our second kid, I was bored, and I created an Instagram reel that got 116 million views, 2 million likes, and it was almost 2 million shares.
Wow. I think it's like 100,000 and you're considered viral, right?
Well, yeah, but you picked up like 15,000 followers from that, didn't you?
I picked up over 20,000.
Over 20,000,
off of that. So that really helped grow the social media in a really good time while I was opening this. So all of the content I put out early on in the gym, I was leasing the space and upfitting the space, they all did pretty good, reaching 30,000 views minimum. So with me being I wouldn't say popular, but my Instagram being mainly bodybuilding, it's really helped the gym because with me being in the bodybuilding scene in the Charlotte area, most of the fitness competitors and powerlifters and things like that know who I am. So I've collaborated my gym post of QC Pump House with my personal Instagram, and it's really helped grow the gym Instagram and let a lot of people who never would have been in the algorithm to see the gym see, what we're doing and what's happening here.
So now that the gym's almost open, can you look back and think about any super duper highs and super duper lows that's kind of happened along the way? What's some of the highlights and something you would learn from and not do again?
A lot more lows than highs because we're not open yet. But I would just say I would learn more about the municipality before going into it. A lot of contractors and builders and things don't even do work in Mecklenburg County because it's a nightmare. I've been delayed about 9 months by the city of Charlotte, so that's absolutely been a low. But just, the more information, the better. Knowledge is power. So I would just say learning more about the city and their processes, because opening a gym in a smaller city obviously is a lot easier, less hoops to jump through. But I would say now I have my team of architects, engineers, so I know who to go to instead of having to essentially go through 3 architects, engineers. I always get 3 quotes, I'll try to reach out to 3 different professionals in the same industry to help me. But now I have my team built, so when I go through this process again, it'll be streamlined essentially. We'll still have delays from the city, but that's just a part of it. And I would say the highs are everybody who's walked through the door has been really happy to see the gym. Can I cuss on you?
Yeah.
So the most common reaction, and this has been awesome for me just because we're not open yet, so kind of delayed gratification until we open. But when people walk through the door, they say, "Holy shit, you built the Mecca gym. Like everything you talked about."
And that's good for a t-shirt. Holy shit. Holy shit. Built a Mecca gym.
But I have some friends who are pretty big in the fitness industry when it comes to owning certain companies and things. And even they've come in and they said, "Man, you built it. You did this shit." And so that's been the highs for sure. And then the other thing is membership sales. So our pre-sale has done exceptionally well, and it surpassed the numbers that we thought it would do in the beginning. So that's
yeah. Just working on the website alone. So the back end, when we turned on the website, instantly I think like over 100 email subscribers right away, which is really good to just turn something on and go.
And I think that goes back to the social media aspect of leveraging your personal brand with your business. And that absolutely helped and is essentially what blew up the subscriptions on the website.
Yeah, and you really knowing how to market yourself in the business and just promoting it and letting everybody know about it. So building up that personal brand and building up that elite fitness lifestyle that you have that people attain to be. And I think you've done an incredible job with that, which, it's not easy to open a gym and open a business and to be able to have that knowledge and that background and that sort of fan base, if you will, I think will serve you well when you continue to open the doors and get people in. So.
Yeah, it has been awesome. With the subscribers she's talking about, we did over 100 email subscribers in the first week or 2 weeks or something like that.
Pretty quick.
And that was with 0 post of the gym being completed all. It was with just a post of the inside of a raw building. So that was I would absolutely say that was a high too, that people I don't even know or know personally, we might know each other from seeing each other in the gym or something like that, but they put trust in me and subscribed but also signed up for the pre-sale at the gym based on
a warehouse.
Yeah, based on
and your
my fitness reputation, which is awesome to me. People putting confidence in you like that does feel good.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see.
And side note, if anybody can see this, if you're watching on YouTube and you see this machine back here behind us, Brendan and I carried that in last year in the heat of August and damn near killed ourselves. Never seen so much tunnel vision from heat exhaustion trying to get that. Well, not just that, like plenty other like machines that we were sitting out there lifting. And I was like, this is the worst ever.
We were actually on the way to a concert.
We were on the way to Jason Aldean, or we were supposed to be leaving by like 4, and we were still 4:30, like fighting with machines. So
yeah, and I remember calling him like, "Where are you? Like, what happened?"
And then I could barely breathe,
like,
I could barely talk.
Drinks.
Like she's like, "Are you drunk?" I was like, "No, I hadn't even started drinking yet." So.
Definitely sounded like you were drunk. I was like, they're probably allowing you into a bar first.
So yeah,
we about died from heat exhaustion that day. What about happened?
Jeez,
that's the worst piece of equipment I've ever had attempted to move in my life, and that was a lesson learned. That's a Life Fitness Synergy 360. Yeah. That thing is the heaviest piece of equipment in the gym, and we moved it with me and him, and there was another guy. I don't know how much he helped. But.
He was 60 years old. And all I know is I was sitting there talking to Brendan. We went to go pick up these other machines at a warehouse and everything, and I said, "So Brendan, they're loading these with forklifts, and I don't. Do you have a forklift back at the gym or not? Because like, how are we going to do this if they're just sitting there loading these big ass pieces with forklifts?" And I was like, "So yeah, it's a good thing we both work out and then we're good to go." But yeah, man, well, it's exciting for you to get this open and running. I know you're jacked about it. So you said in about kind of 30 days or so things will be.
So we're waiting on our last approval. So there's so many, and this is anybody watching, just kind of when you open a business in a city, you're going to have to go through processes with your architects, your engineers, for all your submittals, and you have a review you have to go through where you have to be. So I have to do a change of use within the same occupancy. So it's technically not a change of use. So we're splitting hairs here. This building used to be a church, so that's A3 occupancy. A gym is also A3 occupancy, but a church gets religious businesses get exceptions essentially. So this building, I had to do a lot to it to pass the review through mechanical, electrical, plumbing, zoning, and there's a few other departments, but currently we're waiting on our last approval from zoning, which we should have in the next couple of weeks. And then essentially the only thing between then and opening is I have a walkthrough inspection. Because we didn't do any major construction to the building, the inspection they don't go through the whole building or to my understanding, they essentially don't, it's not as thorough as it could be if you were to, if you change the electrical, that's a pretty thorough inspection because they have to review all the electrical you changed. I didn't really change anything like that. We added some paint, some flooring, turf, and mirrors. So hopefully the inspection goes well, and we'll be open soon.
And cool graphics all over.
Yeah, we're definitely going to share that in some more posts and videos because there's some really cool graphics around here. And so...
and I want to give a shout out to Kat because the girls' locker room, women's locker room is awesome. She's been, I can't take any credit on those graphics. Give a shout out to her.
She, all the creativeness in the locker rooms will be from Kat. I'm good at buying equipment and putting it where it needs to go and dressing up the main part of the gym and stuff like that. But she's super creative, and that's honestly not me. I'm a more factual and analytical type person, but so thanks, babe.
So the gym is packed, definitely. And you've got how many pieces of equipment in here? I mean,
so we definitely have over 100 pieces. Just in leg equipment, we have 44 different pieces of leg equipment, and it's, this gym is a lot different. And if you ever come in and check it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. So most of the time you go to certain gyms and there's the same pieces that are always taken. You can never get on them. And so I purchased doubles and triples of those pieces of equipment so that everybody can use them, and even when the gym's full. And that's another thing that's going to separate us is, yes, we have top tier equipment and we have more than most gyms, but we have doubles and triples of the most commonly used pieces. And, you know, when you're in the gym and you're trying to get it and you're trying to get a quick one in and you have to wait 5 minutes on one little piece to finish your exercise, that can be frustrating at times, but that's part of the gym culture. And that's something that we changed here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking around and I've been to a lot of gyms and I don't know what half of this stuff is. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, we work out at Gold, so they definitely, Brendan's got a lot more, which that's one of the things that you will find. It doesn't matter like how much involved you are in gyms, but if you go to a gym that is not a chain like a Planet Fitness or Anytime, if you actually get an owner that builds their own gyms that really takes pride in owning that gym, then you're going to see some unique, good equipment that's used, you know, by a lot more like powerlifters, bodybuilders types, because you understand the gym atmosphere, the gym business. So
well, and you also understand what piece of equipment you really need to hit a certain muscle, and you can tell if a gym was built for the most part by a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, or somebody who has a lot of knowledge in the industry, because you can walk through I can walk through gyms and say, well, I wish they had this piece, or, you know, this, they only have one or two machine back pieces or something like that, you know, and then, you know, that probably wasn't a bodybuilder or somebody who's been in the industry very long. That was somebody who just wanted to open up a gym. And I would say that's the huge difference between, I mean, honestly, successful privately owned gyms and unsuccessful. I do have a lot of friends that own gyms throughout the Southeast, and they're all bodybuilders or powerlifters and have been in the industry, and their gyms do well. So, I mean, that's a direct correlation to success.
yeah.
Well, we're excited to come back and see it all open and people all around the gym. We're about to go ahead and work out now.
So we're going to get a
private
pump.
VIP.
And I don't think we'll have to worry about any equipment being taken up because we're the only ones here right now. And but so tell them, Brendan, where they can find you if you want to give the address, or where they can find the gym, or like check you out.
So like I said, by the time this airs, we should be opened or right about opening. So we're located in Charlotte, North Carolina, a mile north of Uptown in the NODA area. Address is 512 West 32nd Street, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28206. We're 24/7. So once you sign up, you can come work out anytime you want. But yeah, come check us out.
Parking in the front, parking in the back.
Yes, we do have a good sized parking lot in the back as well. I know that's a big issue in Charlotte when it comes to gyms and things like that. But we'd love you to come by, and we're excited for the grand opening.
Yeah, and what about qcpumphouse.com? You can go check out.
Yeah, so you can. The website is qcpumphouse.com. Currently, we have our pre-sale going on. So with the pre-sale, we're doing $50 off enrollment. So currently, you save $50 off of basically the enrollment fee, and then if you sign up with us currently, you lock in a lifetime rate. So because we're doing a pre-sale, we have discounted rates currently. Once we open, that will change. So if you're interested, sign up now. It'll save you a good amount of money throughout the process, especially if you lock in your lifetime rate.
Yeah, and check back the website often as I'm creating it and still building it as we go. And we'll be adding more as the gym opens and get some more video shots, some more photos, and other parts of the gym that will be opening up. So stay tuned and keep checking back on that. And then Instagram, you are...
Instagram, I'm Brandon V Fit, and the gym is QC Pump House. Just like that. That's really about it.
Yeah, we'll put in the show notes the address and website and the promo info in there as well.
And I did just want to say thank you, Cam, for making my life a lot easier with a lot of this. We are good friends, and she is very responsive when I need help. And at times it'll be an emergency and I'll need some artwork done really fast, and she does help me out with that. So sorry to bother you at 10 p.m. sometimes. But.
And when you get that next gym open, we're going to have people like loading the equipment up for it. Like, we're not going to do that again. I just got caught in a random rainy day, and you're like, hey, let's go move gym equipment. I'm like, shit, I don't all right, let's go.
But you could say you were part of the first
I
PNC
know.
puzzle.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Everything's
So the
looking
highs and the
great.
lows.
Sweats.
The day we had to move that equipment was
Was
definitely a low.
definitely a
Was
low.
a low. Yeah, that was a rough day.
Very much so. Cool. Well, we're glad we were able to do our first on location
And guest.
podcast and
Guest.
special guest, and yeah, be doing many more of these. So good to go.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks for listening. We hope that you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as we enjoyed creating it. Make sure that you follow On Brand Designs on all social media pages and on Instagram, The Profitable Brand Designer, to get the latest episodes, releases, and tips and tricks for brand designers. And also,
you can also follow us as a couple on Instagram at Profitable Brand Couple. That's profitable.brand.couple. So we hope you follow us there and like and comment.
And subscribe and follow us on YouTube to see us in action.
There you go.
Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.